Bitcoin dipped down to 114K. Right now, we're recovering up to 116.3K. Ethereum is still 4,300 roughly, and altcoins are taking a bit of a correction. And I bought a ton of crypto yesterday, and I think it was Friday. If you want to see those alerts, I highly recommend you join Discord real quick. I give my updates, market updates, pretty frequently. We're doing Q&A calls. Our first one's going to be on Sunday. This Sunday coming up, and we also have many different chats, many different members, and yeah, you can see my courses, my trades, my portfolio. If you want to join, the link will be in the description, and also pin comments down below. But if we're wondering what's going on with crypto, so a lot of people are having fears with the September Fed meeting coming up. People think that Bitcoin is sinking because of the macro concern with Jerome Powell not going to cut interest rates. There's a lot of hearsay saying that he's not going to do it in September. And I've been saying, right, there's always that chance he doesn't make a rate cut in September. If that happens, it doesn't mean the bull run's over. All it means is we get extended into Q1 next year, the end of Q1 or around there, right? A lot of people don't want to hear that. They want this run to finish in 2025, the end of this year, right? So it's nothing like to worry about. That's why I've been just buying the dips. Shout out to Ryan, one of my Discord members, even asked me, why do we keep DCA and bringing our averages higher? I'm like, well, the way I look at it, every time I DCA is on a correction or on a dip or a consolidation. And these lows we're seeing now for crypto, these little corrections, these are going to be gold mine entries for retail investors who come pouring in when altcoin season takes place. Everything is perspective. That's the exact advice I gave my Discord. Everything is perspective. Someone buys Bitcoin at 15K. Someone who bought it at 2K laughs at them. Somebody buys at 15K, says great entry. Someone else looks at it and goes too expensive. And now we're seeing Bitcoin go from 122K to 116K. People will buy that saying great dip, and someone will say, no, it's crazy expensive, right? It's all perspective. If Bitcoin hits $1 million next year, which is not going to happen, then 100K looks cheap in comparison. You see how that works? So the reason why I continue to DCA is because I'm building bigger positions. The majority of my positions, the biggest entries are at lows, like Aerodrome 14 cents, Turbo 3026, Art Block 7 cents, Say 15 cents. We have many plays at bottoms, right? And the reason why we DCA the most when we see corrections is because when the market recovers, we see rallies and it puts us in more profit. If we have a bigger bag of crypto at cheaper prices, it leads to more profit. So in case you're wondering why I do that, that's why I do that. So we can see here in this article, macro concerns are expected to steal focus from institutional adoption. To me, when I see wording like this, it's whales trying to manipulate. They want this to be a bigger deal than it actually is, right? They probably have inside knowledge that Jerome Powell is eventually going to cut. We see BlackRock buying tons of Ethereum, tons of Bitcoin, yet they're saying this, which tanks the market. And we usually see this happen around this time of this year. So I'm not too surprised that now they're bringing this up. Like literally last week, it was, we're going to Valhalla. And I made a video saying, guys, we're doing good, but we still got to make the interest rate cut. We still got to see that happen. And everyone's like, oh, but that's it. We don't need the cuts to take place. And I'm like, yeah, we do. Okay. We have to enter QE and turn the money printer back on to see that the market, continue to rally. That's why I never get too attached to pumps. Everyone, like, as soon as the market rallies, it's like, let's forget about all our problems in crypto. Let's focus on the rally. And then people buy the top there, the local top. And the minute we see a correction, guess who's running for the hills selling at a loss? The same investors who just bought. So yeah, just be careful. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Be careful. By the way, also make sure you follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description and also pin comments down below. It's the one that has 70K followers, 29 following. I share a lot of information, whether it's my thoughts. Putin just told Trump he's all in. A lot of people like that comment here, which makes perfect sense. Prices go up, views go up. Prices are down today. Guess how this video is going to do? It's probably going to do bad because when videos views go down, it reflects the price being bad. So when prices go up, video views go up too. And let me see, crickets, which we're probably seeing now. Again, we saw prices go down, huge buy signal. What did I do this weekend? I bought crypto. It's all on Discord. And then, like I said here, all these DCS are going to pay off. They are. They're all going to pay off, right? I see a lot of people going into these crazy plays, decks, memes, so on and so forth. It is what it is, right? To me, it's a big distraction. Could you get into a couple of them for lottery plays? Fine, sure, okay. But a lot of people, I feel like, if you're not focusing on these utility plays at big discounts or the tier one exchange listed memes at big discounts, and all you're focusing is on the wrong things, you're going to lose money and opportunity, right? And the minute you lose your time and opportunity is the minute regret starts pouring in. So, I'm not here to say what you're doing is wrong. I'm just saying, make sure you guys are taking the time to use your time wisely. You can see here on Whale Insider, Morgan Stanley says AI could add, okay, S&P, a little bit on the stocks here. Here we see more Ethereum being bought. Publicly traded Bitmine Immersion buys 1.62 billion worth of Ethereum. Insane. That's actually like the biggest I've seen so far on Whale Insider. And then we can see Michael Saylor. They bought another 49.4 million of Bitcoin. They're doing this today on the dump. The whales are literally telling you they're buying their cryptos now. But you know what's crazy? Michael Saylor bought 49.4 million with this company, and it didn't pump the price of Bitcoin. And Bitmine Immersion bought literally 1.62 billion, and Ethereum's going down in price because they're doing it over the counter, guys. They're trying to disguise their buys. That's why they're telling you right now, oh, the market's in trouble because of the rate cuts, the macro conditions. They're doing that to fool you. But you can see Whale Insider is literally telling you all the whales who are buying crypto, despite the prices looking like they're all selling off from retail on exchanges, indexes, and wallets. Over-the-counter trading is going up. They're buying crypto. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty crazy what's going on. And this is actually interesting. Goldman Sachs expects the Fed to cut interest rates 3 times this year. And I know JP Morgan and Chase thinks 4 times. I mean, I guess they're expecting the next meeting for Jerome Powell, this guy, to cut interest rates. We'll see. I mean, maybe the banks know something. I feel like if this happens, he has to literally cut in September. So, we'll see. I still think there's a good chance he will. Then you can see here in the last 10 hours, 446 million worth of longs liquidated from the crypto market in the past 24 hours. People trying to swing trade this market and guess are literally wrecking themselves, right? I never do that. If I swing trade, it's like less than 10% of my portfolio, and it's a play that I do not care about, or it's a play that I'm okay with parting with. Like, if you're trading your blue chips, your utility bags, and you're just hoping for a pump and you're not working with 6-7 figure bags to even make that trade worth it, you're literally playing with fire. You got to factor in the fees of trading, the stress of you now watching the graphs all day like a slave because you have to literally figure out, when to get in, when to get out. And not to mention the spread fees too. It's very expensive, in taxes. You're going to lose half of that. It's a short-term capital gains tax event when you constantly swing trade. So just be careful. A lot of you are literally moving, your money into assets, but the peers who are swing trading, they're just taking themselves out of long-term capital gains tax bracket, which is much lower than short-term, and they're instantly raising how much money they have to give the government after the end of altcoin season. So yeah, just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Be careful. We can see here market cap is back to below 4 trillion, which I want to see it stay above. Fear and greed's back to neutral. We can see, though, the top 10 and top 100 is trending. I actually want to see how much of this is the top 100. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Sui. Okay. Is Plume. I don't think Plume's top 10. Dogecoin, Pepe, Chainlink, BNB, Shiba, Tron, Stellar, Pudgy Penguins, Poly, Hedera. Okay. So a lot of the top 100 is trending, which is pretty interesting given the market's being red right now. Usually when the market's red, you see a lot of meme coins trending, but this is actually pretty interesting. First time in a while I've seen this happen. So what do you think about that? Let's get a closer look now at the market cap. We can see here 3.92 trillion. Again, 30 days. Just picture this being a crypto. Does it look bad? No, it doesn't, right? You zoom out to the year. Does this look bad? No, it looks great, actually. In fact, Bitcoin dominance, I'm going to guess we're around 59, 60%. 59%. Okay, so this is fine. Last week was around 60%. We're at 59% now. Not bad whatsoever. It tells us that Ethereum, which you can see here, is holding up very strong even on this dip because the altcoins are pretty stable. The altcoins aside from Ethereum, so that's not bad. Altcoin season index 43, buy index that's a 57. Yes, 57. Buy your altcoins. Okay, I can't stress that enough. If you missed my last video, I gave you a bunch of altcoins to buy right now during this crash. I gave you a bunch of different examples, narratives, and price points to look at. It's up to you to research and see which ones fit your portfolio and your needs best. Take advantage. Okay, I can't stress that enough. You have to take advantage. Now is the time to make moves. Okay. A lot of people are going to wait until after this Fed meeting. And, if Jerome Powell cuts interest rates, we are not going to have much time before the market recovers and does very well. Okay. People in the whales and the banks, everyone is waiting for Jerome Powell to make his move. If you think you're going to get in your plays before everyone else does when Jerome Powell makes the cut, which he's going to do, not if, when he does that, do you think you're really going to get in before everyone else? No. The majority of your peers who are not watching these videos, the ones who leave crypto every time I see a correction, they're going to try to come in. They're going to think they have the best entries. And then what are we going to do? We're going to take profits. So, it's crazy how this works, but this is how crypto works. This is not a video to create hopium. I'm a realist. I shoot to you straight. I have no concern. Do I look stressed out right now with crypto? No, I don't. Right? What do? I buy. When I see prices go up, what do? I remind you guys to not get too attached to pumps. What happens on dumps? I tell you guys, yeah, go buy. And if you're not buying crypto, if you're done DCAing, then just do nothing on the dumps. And on the pumps, enjoy them or take profits whenever you see fit. This is not rocket science. Okay? This is not an overcomplicated plan either. It's very boring. Okay, we're in the boring side of crypto. Everybody wants to see a big move happen in a day and, see altcoin season. Again, when you zoom out, I just want to pull this up again, the chart. When you zoom out, it's very easy to get sucked into the 30 days and not realize that we're entering or we're already in the bull cycle. See, look, 30 days here, even this is bullish, but people are going to look at it and go, oh, that's it, that runs over. And then look at the year chart, right? This is just the year alone. And not to mention 2024, everybody thought this was the end of the bull cycle. And what happened since December 2024? We've been in an uptrend. Even though we came in a bottom point right here, this is right after Trump launched his coins and we saw, a huge crash. Everyone thought that was the bear market. It was just a downturn, which bull cycles have time and time again. And when you zoom out even further, look at this from the bear market, the real bear market in 2022, which was way below even $1 trillion market cap. Look at this graph. How can you not be bullish? Even right now. Look, this little blip right here is low correction we're at right now. But look at it on a zoomed out graph. That screams bullish. That screams bull cycle. I leave you with this. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay mentally strong. I was giving advice to a member. Shout out to Joe. He's getting a little frustrated with crypto. He's been a member in my group now for, I think, 3-4 years. And I told him straight up, we're not at the finish line yet, but we're rounding third base. Just stay busy. If you're not dollar cost averaging, don't be staring at the graphs all day. I'm telling you guys, even these OGs, veterans, eventually the pressure and stress gets to you. The whales will literally keep doing their thing to manipulate until even the veterans get shaken out. It's all an endurance-based game. That's why investing, especially in stocks, is built over the long term. This is why retail investors constantly, every cycle in stocks and crypto, lose money, because even though they know that it's always a psychological game, that the whales will always tell you it's over, then buy, and then they'll tell you to hold and then sell. Every time they do this, they get fooled because something out there changes in this psychological attack and they fall for it. So again, anyone that's fallen for any of this stuff happening now, that's it, rate cuts aren't coming, sell, they're going to be rinsed out and have huge regrets when this cycle's over. So yeah, I'm just telling you, just at the very least, do nothing. Okay. Good times are coming. The sun's coming out. Anyways, if you want to stay in touch with me, you know where to find me, Discord and X. Make sure you're in both. Highly encourage it. And with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And on that note, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.